How does it feel being in this position, having the third generation racing?
It's very special in some way. In some other way, yeah. I mean, we've been grow up with this, and it's also in some ways it's quite normal for us. Uh, I grew up on the racetracks when my father was racing back in the 70s and the 80s, and for me it was obvious that I would become a racer. And it's a bit similar with Liam. You know, he also grew up between the bikes, and yeah, it was also a bit obvious or normal that he would also start racing. A quite interesting life that I had, seeing my father race and going through my own career, and now repeating it again with Liam is special and nice.
Do you feel that same bond with Liam at this point in time?
Yeah, we have a really good bond. Actually, it's even better than that what I had with my father. My father is coming from a completely different generation, and communication between us was difficult, was not easy, and I was also always a boy who went directly in defense towards him with all the the tips and tricks that he was trying to tell me and teach me. So there was a lot of discussions in the past between Liam and myself. It's a lot better. Our communication got better the last years. Um, and it's also something that I've learned and seen when I was together with my father, that this is something we have to do better. My dad did to me and what we are doing to Liam, the basics are the same. Uh, we try to raise him in a good way that they appreciate, and they have respect for things in life, and be polite and gentle. All these kind of things are very important for us.
What could you say were your hard won learning experiences throughout your racing career?
I think the beginning was losing was a tough thing for me to deal with. I've lost a couple of championships, 92 and 93, 94, a couple of times against Greg Albertine, and those were very tough years for me. How to deal with it. So I've learned that throughout the years how eventually deal with it. And when I lost again from Tortelli in '98, it took me just 1 week to get over it, and then I just put a point behind it, and I said, listen to myself. After 1 week, we start the new season, and '98 is finished for me, and we look forward in a positive way.
There was a momentum there that you could tap into. Is that how you kept driven, or was it just the personal character inside you that still wanted to achieve more?
Well, I had a lot of success in the middle '90s when I won 3 titles in a row, and at that time, I kind of also lost the pedals a little bit. I started to become a little mini rock star, and then yeah, I lost from Tortelli, and I got a big injury in '99 and 2000, and those were really tough times that put me really back down to earth. I had still so much drive inside me to come back, and I came back in 2001 as a completely different person with a different mentality, and I yeah I changed a lot, and I had a good team behind me, made a good decision to go to Yamaha Rinaldi,
Mm.
and those years which were coming, they were the best years of my career. Find out where the problem is. Soon as you know where the problem is, you can start working. You know,
Mm.
then phase 1 is in,
Mm.
then phase 2 starts, and that's just to
Mm.
work on that phase that is weak and not strong enough, and then you go to phase 3 and go and do it on the track and succeed. uh, but a lot of people, or a lot of they don't even get through phase 1, so they will never
Mm.
get to phase 3, and that's the finishing touch. uh, so it's the trick is really to find out phase one where the problem is, and then find the solution to the problem and then solve it.
Okay. Yeah. That character of fighting for success in your professional life crosses over into your personal life, Stefan. Is there a point of conflict where you don't leave racing behind and you're inside home with family, or have you managed to achieve a balance over the years?
It's not easy because I lived nearly 20 years as a racer, and then the normal life starts. So especially for my wife Kelly, she tried to bring me to become a bit of a normal person, and that's not easy. It's not easy if you live 20 years this lifestyle, and everything is just focused on you. I decide this, I decide that, and now you have to learn to deal with your kids and my wife and friends, and so it's not easy for her. It's sometimes tough, but I work on it. I do my best. Like for example, this situation now, it's really bad. It's really serious. But I mean, we've dealt with a lot of things in the past, and I think for normal people, regular people, this thing what's happening now, the coronavirus, for them, it must be very hard and very intense to deal with it and live with it. For us, we adjust to it and try to be safe and stay healthy and as good as possible, and we wait and see what happens next week or in a couple of months.
The effects of contracting malaria would have been another complete life-changing event. It was incredibly serious for you. The severity of the disease and the recovery process. I don't know how you deal with such a thing, Stefan. You've had years in your racing career with those type of challenges, but it would be fair to say this was a totally new type of challenge for yourself. How have you managed to make step-by-step progress, I suppose?
Well, I haven't made a lot of steps during the last year. The steps were really, really small. They were not even baby steps. Now, 3 weeks ago, I did another operation on my feet to try and have less pain while walking. I'm still suffering a lot with my feet. It's been very, very strange. I woke up from my coma and you don't know what happened. And then every day you learn something new. This is what happened, and this can be like this and that. So I had a lot of operations last year. They had to amputate a lot of the toes, so I lost 8 toes in totally. And they did it all in steps. So many surgeries, many recoveries during the last year, and at the end, I still was struggling a lot with feet pain. You know, a big part of the racing from Liam put my mindset on something else except the pain on my feet, and so this helped me a lot to kind of put the bullshit on the side and go to the races even with pain. I had a bicycle to go around the track. That helped me a lot, so I could basically go everywhere and see everything, but on a bicycle, so that I didn't have to walk. So I find solutions for the problem, and I will suffer for the rest of my life with my feet. That's for sure. I realize that, but I'm trying to reduce the suffering. So, and I think we made a good step now with that last operation.
Yeah.
Liam Everts crossed the line by 24 seconds over Kevin Brumman to take his first European 125 championship race.
Yeah, it was a great day. It was one of his first big successes that he had in his career now, and then he did it in Metally Basin. The week before, we did a local race and he crashed in practice. No, he didn't crash. He hurt his leg, so we wasn't sure he could race. So we went to Metally and just hoping that he could start riding. So we didn't know what to expect, and then he did. We came back home with a big trophy and 2 moto wins. I did my last big international race there with the Nations against Stewart and all the rest, and Liam did basically the same what I did. What I did on my last GP at the end of my career, and his is just starting now. So it was I was quite impressed with his riding. He showed already some great things, even in Hoxton Park, where it was so muddy and rainy. He crashed and then he came back to P1, and I was lately he's been surprising me, and it's not that easy to surprise me. Just really hope we can still do some racing and finish off the season, and maybe not the same like in a normal way, but at least in the best possible way.